Hi, my name is Maya Campbell, and today I'm going to be talking with you about the ethics of testing on animals and why this is something that should be banned. I can remember back to one of my college classes, Anatomy and Physiology. We were doing an experiment on rats, and I thought to myself, well, why are we doing an experiment on rats? And this brings up my first point, that humans and animals do not have similar genetics, so when testing occurs on an animal, it may fail because of the dissimilarity between animals and humans, Akhtar 2015. Using makeup and certain drugs and household cleaning products is something that we continue to use, and it's great that we have all of these advancements, but we don't really understand the pain and suffering that these animals go through to get these products. And I wanted to show you this bunny on this specific brand of makeup, and that bunny means that this product or this brand is cruelty-free, which I think is great that a lot of the makeup companies have gone cruelty-free because, they found another way to make their product, and I think this is great that they don't have to test on animals anymore. And actually, the European Union has put in a testing ban on all cosmetic products. So these products are not even allowed to be marketed. Let's say if they're tested on animals, they're not even allowed to be on the market. Moran and Locke, 2014. And that brings up my last point, that scientists do not have a way to measure the pain and discomfort that these animals experience after being tested on, Chen, 2018. Most people think, well, scientists would easily be able to measure this with all of the technology that we have now. They would easily be able to measure the amount of pain that an animal is enduring during a specific test, but they don't have any way to accurately measure that. So next I kind of want to be, talking about that topic a little bit further, that scientists cannot measure the pain that these animals are going through accurately. And actually a lot of experiments are unable to be done without inflicting pain on animals. And sometimes the experiment is flawed when you give them painkillers or you don't give them painkillers. And that's Chen, 2018. Scientists do try to inflict as little pain as possible on these animals, but as I said before, it's just too hard to measure. And I kind of want to talk to you about the different things that can happen to these animals after the testing is done or while they're going through testing. Complications can range from aspiration pneumonia, esophageal trauma and perforation, abdominal bloating, fluid in the lungs, the accumulation of blood outside the lung, and death. And that's Balcombe, 2004. And next I would like to be discussing how high of a percentage of drugs fail in clinical trials, although they have been successfully passed through these animal testings. And kind of when they do animal testings or they call it the first phase of a testing, because they want to see if it's safe to use in humans. But if 94% of the drugs that are passed in animal testing will fail in human tests, then why are we continuing to test on animals when the number is so high? 94% of drugs will fail in humans if they are tested on animals. And I think that this number is, when I saw it, I was blown away. And that's Lovell Badge, 2013. So we are doing more harm than good by testing on these animals here. I know that we're ensuring that, it's safe for human consumption, but it seems that it's not worth it. Scientists cannot accurately predict how something will react with a human, and that's also Lovell Badge, 2013. One of my classes in college, it was a psychology class, we discussed the drug thalidomide. This was back in the 1950s or 60s, I think. This drug was being tested on animals, and it had been found to be safe in humans in large consumptions as well. So, people started taking these drugs, and the most common reason that people were taking these drugs, mothers would take them for morning sickness, but when the baby was born, the baby would be born with birth defects, missing lungs, or deformed lungs. So the thalidomide that they tested on animals and said, okay, these humans can use them for morning sickness, or these mothers can use them It was not safe at all. And you can see so many pictures on the internet of these poor children with missing limbs and deformed limbs. It's honestly very sad, and that's Daly 2012. And that's just one example of many drugs that have been tested on animals, and they have been found that they could make human lives better, but not doing enough research beforehand. And the next thing I'd like to discuss is just the alternatives to animal testing that are available. So the need for animal testing has dwindled down significantly. Computer models can offer many benefits to animal testing, including the accuracy of the tests. According to Emily Folk, a conservationist, cardiac drug testing has been performed by a computer rather than on an animal can be more than 95% accurate. Another cool thing that I saw was it's called tissue dynamics. It's also an alternative to animal testing. This can show the different effects of a medication basically mimicking a human trial, and that's Folk 2018. As for makeup testing on animals, you could use, it's called corositics. It's a synthetic skin. It can be used in place of animal testing to check for the toxicity of a chemical. So basically you can use this instead of using human skin, which I think is pretty cool. And they can see how, humans will react to this, the certain makeup or anything like that. And to conclude on this topic, continuing animal testing means that we're continuing to do so much pain and so much damage and distress for these animals. Scientists cannot accurately measure the pain and distress that these animals are going through, so it's not fair to them that we're using them as our subjects. Drugs and products can seriously kill, harm or even kill humans because they think it's safe because they've done animal testing, but it's not safe for human consumption. Scientists should be coming up with alternative methods to animal testing, I believe. We have so much technology in today's day and age that we can use instead of these animals as our subjects. We have computer models or really anything like that. And I think that if we just keep going, we will be able to find so many more alternatives to animal testing. So thank you for watching.